Hello, my name is Alphonse. I'll be showing you how to use blocks properly in sprint work. This is a basic way to do sprints and stuff when you're doing like short distances. Usually in the old days, they used to not use blocks and had like worse times, but through the age of like technology and stuff, Usain Bolt ran one of the fastest times, which was like 9.87. So today I'll be showing you how to do this. Come over here. So as you're putting in these blocks here, you have to make sure that you always have a proper base on it. You have to make sure that when you stomp on it, it has to go in. And a good tip is that you have somebody else to hold it back while you're running. So once you have these in, you're gonna have to put your dominant foot, which is my left, and so I'll put that forward, and then I'll adjust it to where I want to put it. So you have it right where your toe is, right here. Me, I like some more space. It just might depend on you. But as you're doing that, stomp on the back. And this is very important right here. You want to make sure that you have it right where you want it. And so me, I personally like 4 and 8 because, you know, my legs are a bit longer. It just depends on you. So I have mine at 8. So the way to find that out, put your dominant foot first, and wherever your toe touches, that's where you want it to be. And then right there, you put it complementary to that, and you'll find out where your other one is. So when you're doing these, preferably, I like to do a push-up and then come into it like this. And so when you're doing this, it's easier to like set yourself and have like a better base. And so you want to have your fingers out like this, put it adjacent to your shoulders. So as you're doing that, come up like this, try to have a 90-degree angle with your dominant foot and a 130 angle between your other foot, the one that's more back. So you bring yourself up as high as you can, and as you're coming out, see right there, I didn't have a proper angle. I should have had a straight body line. Let me show you one more time. So push-up position, get set. Make sure that your dominant foot isn't always right here. Have it a little bit above. Get set, like that, and have your body straight. And so this is how you're supposed to use the blocks properly. The tools that you're supposed to use are spikes usually. And so when you're using these, you're supposed to have this in. But to use spikes properly, you need a tool. I bought this off of New York. I bought this at Nike.com, and you just have to twist it in like this, get it in and put it on. So I'll be putting it on in a second. I'll show you guys how it works. During block work, you're supposed to do stretches and stuff. You could go down on your knees like this, go down, touch your feet, try to head it there to really stretch the muscles that you're supposed to be using. So as you're doing it, just like try to figure out stretches that you can use. Coach Stamper, our track coach, usually tells us to like go down on our knees and like this, that, go forward, have it a lunge position, and then come back to that to really stretch the quads. So as you're putting these on, the spikes, you want to make sure that they're not as tight and loose, and you want to make sure you hold the back of the tongue so you don't like crease it or anything, so it's in prime condition when you're running. So put the first one on, and always make sure that these things are tight in. Like, see, I just brought them out of the bag and the spikes are gone already. They're already out of it. So you want to go in a righty, what's it called? Lefty loosey, righty tighty. Always forget that. Dad usually tells me this all the time. So when I'm putting it on, make sure every single one's tight, because if it's not tight, it's gonna really slip out, and that's just gonna worsen your performance. So I put this on. So hold on the tongue as always. Bring it down, around, and it's on. All right. So usually you want to wear shorts, but today, because of the circumstances, it's cold outside, I'll wear sweatpants. But same as always, push-up position. Always go with your dominant foot first. Come out like that. Have your non-dominant foot, which is my right, to be on the ground kneeling. And so have your other one up. Bring it up like this. Come out like that. Make sure you always have a perfect degree angle. But this is my speech on the block work. All right, thank you. All right, so another part of the thing is that you always want to get the proper stretch in. So usually we like walk a certain amount of distance and put your hand up, and then make sure you're on your tippy toes. So you get 2 stretches in one. You get one on the side of your quad and on your calf in the back. So you just alternate and come up. Also, you probably want to do this. It's called a hip. What's it called? Quad pull. You want to pull your leg as far as back you can. Sorry, I'm out of balance. I have spikes on. And you want to use your non-dominant leg and bring your heel up and raise your hand so you get the most out of your stretch. All right, and so After that, if you have hurdles by any chance, if you got a track thing, like you want to help work on your own thing. So this, you bring your 1 foot and the opposite arm up like this in a 90-degree angle, and have your arm in a 90-degree angle, and push it down. But as you're pushing down, make sure you hit the mid to your toe foot. So make sure you have dorsiflexion. It's a proper thing to like get the most speed and distance when you're running. All right, so let me show you one of the blocks. All right, so as I said, push up position, come back, have this a bit above the block, come in, have your non-dominant foot, the knee bending down, have your one up, get your hands always like this, have your arms length away with your shoulders parallel to it, bring yourself up, and go. Is this still going?